That's great.
Right, right. And we are back here at the Hinkle Holiday Classic. I'm Brandon Giese sitting alongside Patrick Harrion. Yeah, I had a feeling we weren't live yet. I could see. And we are back here at the Hinkle Holiday Classic. I'm Brandon Giese alongside Patrick Harrion. They've already got underway down on the court, so that means that this game is brought to you by Custom Heating Cooling of Chicagoland. For all your comfort needs, heating or air conditioning, give them a call at 847-622-7483. Or find them online at customheating.com. That's the first bucket of the game. I believe that went to Logan McCann of the Lakes Community Eagles. And the Eagles will be facing against the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies. Both teams, unfortunately, enter the game 0-3, but now we're into that consolation bracket, and now everyone has a little something to play for. Am I wrong?
Oh, you are not wrong. You got a little, they're playing here, and they have a chance to put their first win into their win column for today's tournament.
And they also have a chance to win that consolation bracket, which actually is probably a good thing for every team. They get a chance to take home something and say, hey, we accomplished this. Up the court right to left, that would be Michael Barrett. He gives it up. That's Bradley Cherry. Near side, that's Triplet with it. They work it into the middle of the zone, back out, thought about a three. And we are seeing a 2-3 zone stagger the Eagles, and the Grizzlies are doing a good job of closing out on that perimeter, as the 2-3 zone does promote the three-point shot if you can work it into that middle zone, middle part of the zone, but a steal, and Ryan Trotter will bring it up for the Grizzlies. Pro to the near side, a dribble drive, a good pass out, and that's going to be Scalise for three, and that hits nothing but the bottom of the net. We saw Vince Scalise light it up from deep in the last game, or actually yesterday when we were here. It was the first game that we did. It was them versus the Johnsburg Skyhawks. Unfortunately, Payton Preparatory did take the loss, but Scalise did have a very good game there.
Took a lot of outside shots. He was sinking everything, basically. See, the key for Lakes right now with the zone is they're going to try to get it out to the three-point line and maybe try to work it in or maybe take a few three-pointers.
A long pass is tipped around and controlled by the Eagles. The best way to beat the zone really is to do it with pace. If they can't set up into that 2-3 zone just like we saw there, that's going to be a charge or a block. I could not tell. I think it's and one, and LaShawn Triplet will go to the line for an opportunity to get that and one.
Now, this is an area that Lakes has struggled with in this tournament. They're only a mere 52% at the free throw line.
Yeah, 52% from the line is going to be tough for a lot of teams to win, but the Eagles have time to turn that around. Triplett throws that one up, and he is the first free throw of the game for them, and he makes it. LaShawn Triplett converts the and one, and they're going to go the other way. That's going to be Trotter with a dribble drive, a pass out. That's Dillon. Scalise will fire again. Why not? Back rim, no good. Rebound there is controlled by Logan McCann. A swing pass to Triplett. A three-pointer is fired. That's Michael Barrett for three.
They were able to pass very well in that sequence of events there, and they were able to get it out to the corner, or the little part in between the middle and the side, in order to get a good three-point shot, breaking the zone.
A dribble drive from Trotter. He'll go up with the left, and that will fall. Ryan Trotter, we saw him dice the lane against the, they played Johnsburg Skyhawks. I get them and the Community Eagles confused, actually, a lot of the time. McCann missed, but Trotter did do that a lot against them. Ooh, that was very close to being a travel. Liam Dillon got away with one there. He took 2 steps without dribbling the ball, which in most cases will result in that travel.
He did look like he did appear to take one too many steps, but they missed it. And
A good pass inside. Another one was tried. They didn't get it, but Barrett gets there. A jumper from about 12 feet is no good for Wade Parmley. They get an offensive or a defensive steal, and a layup did not fall. I don't know how, but it looked like it was down.
It rung around the basket and came out somehow.
Ryan Trotter for 2. They're going to call a charge on him. A good job by LaShawn Triplett to set his feet. Inbound goes to Triplett. They're running that 2-3 zone all the way down the floor. This seems to be more of a box and one. And now they fall back into the 2-3 zone. An interesting defensive tactic, but it will be what they go with. Barrett in the corner for 3. Another one. Michael Barrett with 2 threes here in the early going.
See, the problem with that zone is that you sometimes are able to leave a guy open, and then you're able to take, if it's a guy with good three-point shooter, he's going to take advantage of that, and it could cost you some points in the end.
You'll see a lot of time from the corner and from the elbow extended is where you're going to see those three-pointers get put up. The top of the key normally is the most defended. Scalise for 3, no good. Rebound control by Triplett. He'll bring it up right to left on your screen across the Golden Eagle. They give it to Barrett. He thought about firing but didn't go with it. A swing pass. And they reset. Barrett again for 3. Why not? No good. Rebound tipped. And last touch by Wade Parmley. They're going to call it actually an over the back on him. So Wade Parmley will pick up his first foul of the contest. And the Grizzlies will take possession. A good defensive play there is going to spark the Eagles the other way, but Ryan Trotter made a smart play on Bradley Cherry. He set his feet and took a charge as Cherry was trying to get rid of the ball to his partner wide open in the lane.
It was a good way to break up that another point that probably would have scored there. And it was good to see that he thought of that, taking that foul, and it worked.
2-on-1 break. That's going to be a travel. Drag the pivot foot a little bit, and it's going to go back in the possession of the Eagles. What have you seen so far?
I've noticed a lot of turnovers in terms of traveling, or either, and a little bit of fouls here in the beginning of the game too. But I've noticed that the Lakes are beating the zone by taking the three-point shot and passing the ball, which is good. Good ball movement will probably open up a guy in the corner or the elbow.
That's going to be another travel, I believe. They work it to the corner, or the near side corner. Trotter with it now. He'll give it up to Scalise. Liam Dillon for 3, no good. Rebound will be let go by Barrett. A smart play because the ball was traveling out of bounds. Here comes Triplet for the Lakes Community Eagles. He'll pass it to the near side. That's Michael Barrett. They move it in and then out. Wade Parmley, an extra pass was deflected and controlled there. They're going to call that a push. Would have been an over-the-back foul, or over-the-back call if the push was not there.
You saw his foot going over the line.
Which you can do if the ball is tipped, but he regained possession, which means it's back in Lakes Community Eagles possession, and then he stepped over. If the ball is tipped by the defender and it goes past the line and you grab it, that's a loose ball. You can grab it at any time, not over the back. They work it in and work it out. I think that's going to be a common theme from the Eagles. They're going to try to work it inside and get it back out to shooters. Michael Barrett for three, yes!
So they beat the zone again, and they just keep moving the ball around. You get guys into a big section of the court, and you leave a guy open.
They just keep on firing. Far side, that's Dylan with it. He'll put up a wild shot that gets deflected, and Barrett gets sprung. A pass was not tipped by number 5, Freddie Martin, and it will go the other way.
He seemed to have just rushed that pass there. He overshot the guy, and he went all the way out of bounds. It's out of control.
And the ball seems to have rolled down by our production crew. Let's get our producers a little bit of hoops. You know,
give him a shot.
I like to see our director take a three. Far side, that's Scalise. Gives it up to Pruh. A three-pointer is shot from Dylan, and he will hit. Liam Dillon with his first bucket of the game. And I did not see Liam Dillon play in the last outing, but he is a 6'6" sophomore, and that's why the bench got really excited to see him hit that three. They're going to call another traveling violation, and with the way it's going so far, both these teams could definitely get some frequent flyer miles for all the traveling they are doing today.
There's been a lot of traveling by both sides.
Almost a steal as Logan McCann went hard into his own bench, but he appears to be okay. An inbound goes to Freddie Martin. Scalise will fire at the buzzer, and he hit it! Vince Scalise for three, and that will put the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies up at the break. Here it's 15-14, and we are going to send it to our quick Buffalo Wild. Actually, we're going to go to a Windy City Bulls replay first. It's going to be Vince Scalise for three at the buzzer. Little time left. He realizes that, doesn't rush it at all. In form, and a perfect shot. Now we're going to go to our Buffalo Wild Wings commercial to hear from our sponsor. And we are back here in the Jacobs High School gym. It's the Hinkle Holiday Classic. I'm Brandon Giese sitting alongside Patrick Harrion, and we're in for another full day of basketball here at the Hinkle Holiday Classic. It's always a pleasure. Patrick, what'd you see in that first quarter from each side?
I've seen a lot of threes taken by Lake, so they've seen to defeat the zone. But I think the Grizzlies should maybe switch to a 3-2 to try to block that three-pointer along the side, because that's just killing them in this game.
Well, we will see what they do. The Grizzlies actually did take a lead into the quarter break, and that's widely thanks to a Vince Scalise three at the buzzer. Let's see if they can retain the lead. That should have been a double dribble, I'm almost positive, but they do not call that. And that was number 33, Tyler Gunther, who checked in. into the corner. Dillon for three. No good. These two teams love to shoot it, that's for sure, and the rebound will be tapped out of bounds by the Grizzlies. At the top, they're going to swing it here near side. That's Barrett. A pretty good amount of substitutions for the Eagles. We'll catch you up on those when we can. That's Gunther inside. He won't get that to go. Also in is Ethan Greenfield and Jeffrey Molostin, excuse me. Far side, Dillon thought about it. He'll give it up instead. That's Ryan Trotter. Martin with a nifty crossover right down the middle of the lane, and he will score. Freddie Martin getting on the board for the Grizzlies.
It was a great shot when he had three guys on him.
Into the center, they try to go with it, and it will be intercepted there by number 25, Zach Anderson. Martin works it inside to Charlie Pillsbury with a good pass to Ryan Trotter, excuse me, and that's an easy bucket. That's going to trigger a Lakes Community Eagles timeout. And that also is going to trigger a sponsored timeout by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin. Looking for a brand new Hyundai or certified pre-owned? Save time, shop online at rosenhyundai.com. Just over 6.5 minutes left here in the half, and the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies have went on a run fueled by the Vince Scalise 3 to end the first. What do the Lakes Community Eagles need to talk about in this break?
I think they keep talking about, they have to try to stop turning the ball over, because they seem to be doing that, and try to stop, Payton's trying to drive in. They have to try to stop the flex shots, because they've gone from outside and now working in, and it seems like Lakes is just overwhelmed by it. Even though they had three guys and certain people, shots are still getting in.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is that both of these teams like to shoot it. It's well known now at this point in the game. But you'll see Ryan Trotter is constantly cutting down the lane for the Grizzlies, and he's making up a lot of opportunities in that painted area. You got to make sure you keep a body on him when he's cutting through the lane, because he hasn't shown us yet that he is going to shoot the three-pointer. So keep an eye on that for the Eagles. The Grizzlies, on the other hand, have been clicking on all cylinders after a couple of turnovers from the Eagles and a couple of really good possessions. Overall, they're going to break and come out and see what happens here. The Grizzlies will enter with a full court box and one press, and the Eagles break it rather easily. Now they drop into that 2-3 zone.
It seems that Freddie Martin has checked in for the Grizzlies as well.
Far side, that's going to be Greenfield. Swing to Barrett, back to Molostin. Inside, Gunther to Barrett for three, yes! Michael Barrett has had himself a great game from beyond the arc already. He is 4 of 5 from deep, and it's only gonna get better in my opinion.
The Grizzlies have to put a man on him to stop that three-point threat, because he has scored a lot of points in this game from the three-point line.
He's already got 12 from beyond the arc. Trotter now with it for three. Just as I said he wouldn't shoot it, he shoots it and he makes it. Ryan Trotter just showed us that he can make a three-pointer, and we're going to see if that is something to watch out for a little more often. They press and trap in the corner. They don't get the ball out of that. Right down the middle of the zone, a floater, no good. He gets his own rebound short on that attempt. Gunther with the board. He'll put it up and draw some contact. Couple of extra chances there to get a bucket, eh?
They got all those offensive rebounds, as I've said throughout this entire tournament. Offensive rebounds helps your team a lot. It's in my opinion, one of the 3 things you need to have in order to win high school basketball games. And it seems like Lakes is just doing that, and that's why they're playing decent today.
Tyler Gunther 0 for 1 at the line, and that is one of the other keys to winning high school basketball game is free throw shooting. Gunther will spin it into his grip and let the second one go. That one had a little more arc and looked a lot better. The second one does fall for Tyler Gunther, and then he goes to the bench. Back into the game is Logan McCann. The ball handler for the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies will be Ronan Prua as Ryan Trotter takes a seat on the bench. A steal there by Triplet as he just entered back into the game. He'll go coast to coast and draw some contact.
So this is a very important part for Lakes, is if they can capitalize on the free throws, because there has been a lot of fouls in this half. There's been 5.
And they do need this. Our graphic is backwards at the moment, but actually the score is 22-18 in favor of the Grizzlies, not the Eagles. So just keep that in mind if you're watching on YouTube. Triplet now puts that one up, and that will fall for him. A 1-for-2 trip to the line. Far side, that's Anderson. A bad pass will almost get picked off. That should have been over the back. They did not call it. A pass inside will get picked off, so either way, they turn it over.
The Grizzlies just seem to be making turnover after turnover on forced passes. Seem to be passing the ball too much.
Michael Barrett is on the bench. We will see how they try to go about breaking the zone without his sharpshooting expertise on the floor. Bradley Cherry will dribble in. A swing pass to Triplet. He'll fire for 3. Why not? No good. Rebound controlled, and they've got numbers, and they're going. Pruh almost had it taken from behind by a hustling Jeffrey Molostin. Right down the middle of the lane, that was Freddie Martin. They're going to call a foul on the floor on Molostin. Down the lane goes Ronan Pruh. A left-handed floater did not fall. It was a pretty decent look. Triplet sets it up for the Eagles. They work it inside and swing it out. Molostin, another extra pass. They thought about shooting it, but did not do it. They go to the baseline. A wild scoop layup does not go. Thought there was some contact, but they did not call it.
It seems like the Eagles had trouble breaking the zone there, and that's why they turned it over.
That was a carry. Inside to Pillsbury. He's going to draw some contact. Charlie Pillsbury, the 6'5 junior, will go to the line.
Now this has been a category that the Grizzlies have been good at. They have 73% free throws. And they have been very good throughout the entire tournament. Now let's see if he can continue that trend of 73% today. So if they have that 73%, they have a good chance of winning this game.
Pillsbury gets that first one to go through, and as you said, if they can up that percentage or keep at it with the way that the Community Eagles have been shooting, there might be an opportunity to have an advantage in that category.
Because it seems like the Eagles have struggled, as I've said earlier, they've struggled with free throws, having a mere 52% in this tournament.
They move it inside. Triplet gets it to the far side. That's Bradley Cherry. Inside, no good. That was Wade Parmley, who got good positioning inside the middle of that zone but could not get it to convert. For 3, Charlie Pillsbury. That's well short, and they're going to go the other way with it.
I like the idea of shooting there because there was nobody on him, and I like to see the Grizzlies taking shots.
They work it over the timeline and quickly get inside. A right-handed fading layup is good for Logan McCann. And our graphic is fixed for the most part. Logan Dillon puts it up from the corner, no good. Rebound controlled there by Michael Barrett. He will bring it up right to left. There's their sharpshooter. He's back on the floor. If you can stop him, you're pretty much going to stop the offense at this point. He's got a majority of their points, more than half of them.
Yeah, stop him on the three-point line. Put a man on him.
Just close out on him. He's the one guy you really don't want to shoot it, and he's proven that so far.
Because once he's hot, he's hot. He's going to keep shooting from that corner.
A pass into the corner, and they swing it up top. They get it to him over there in the near side. It's going to be a foul called on, I believe, number 23, Ronan Pruitt. Inbound goes into Barrett. He wasn't even ready for it, and he actually had a good look. They get it inside, and that's what you want. Your big man puts it up and in. That's Logan McCann again on 2 consecutive possessions. A right-handed hook falls for Logan McCann. Almost intercepted that pass, and Freddie Martin tries to set it up now with just under a minute and a half to go. Pro with a dribble drive. And one, an impressive and one for Ronan Pruitt. He was falling to the floor and somehow got it to go.
That was just a crazy shot. I didn't even think it was going to go in.
I didn't even think he would be able to get it up, let alone have it fall. So Pruitt at the line now for the end one. He puts it up. That's well short, but either way, an impressive layup from Ronan Pruitt. Barrett will give it up. That's triplet at the top. A swing pass is picked off and tried to be spiked off an opponent, but it did not happen. Now they come back quickly. A scoop layup, and that goes for Wade Parmley. He seemed to glide in the air. It looked like he almost took one too many steps there, but he did get to the rack, and it was not called a travel.
You saw the great behind-the-back pass there, and it helped attribute to that score. I mean, it was a beautiful pass.
With 30 seconds left, the Grizzlies turn it over, and here come the Eagles. They're gonna say that's a block. They were trying to get it to Barrett in the corner. He was practically doing jumping jacks. He was so excited to be that open. There's gonna be a block there on Pruitt, I believe, and he's gotta watch his foul trouble. Oh no, that went to number 42, Pillsbury, who was also in foul trouble with 2. And you know, you think now that's really not that much. Well, down in the end of the game, you don't want your starters to be fouling out. The 1-on-1 opportunity is up, but that will not go. They rebound it, and they get it to Martin. That pass is tipped by an Eagle and goes into the scorer's table. A nice one-handed grab down there by one of our PA announcers.
It was a beautiful catch.
I wouldn't call it Odell Beckham-esque, but it was pretty impressive. A dribble drive from Pruitt again. He goes right down the middle of the lane. That's not going to go. They've got 9 seconds left. A turnover, and Ronan Pruitt has been everywhere in the past 30 seconds. He's going back to the line with an opportunity to make up for that missed and one earlier.
Now if they're able to sink these 2 free throws, they'll be able to take the lead in this game. Actually, my mistake, they'll be able to add to their lead.
Pruitt puts that one up and in off the front of the rim. To the bench goes McCann with 2 fouls. In comes Gunther for the Eagles. It's a 2-point ball game with 7.1 seconds left. Pruitt will put that one up, and it hits nothing but the bottom of the net. They're going to work quickly, try to get a shot out of this. There's 5 seconds left. A three-pointer is taken, no good. It rimmed out, and that's going to be the half. An exciting half of basketball, nevertheless. 28-25 in favor of the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies. We are going to send it to our commercial break and bring it back after the half. And we are back here in the Jacobs High School gym. The players are funneling onto the court to warm up for the second half of action. I'm Brandon Giese alongside Patrick Harrion, and we're going to do some updates here on scoring and kind of give you some keys for the rest of the game. Firstly, I'd like to note that Michael Barrett has 12 points for the Eagles, and that's all exclusively from downtown. He has not even taken a step inside the paint. So Michael Barrett has shot the lights out. Logan McCann with 6, and everyone else is kind of just chipping in. What do you got on your side of the ball here, Patrick?
You have Scalise with 6 and Prue with 4, and the rest of them are starting to file in as well. But
so then go ahead and give me some keys for the Eagles to win this game.
Keep working around the three-point line. It seems to be working for them. Break the zone, get a guy open, preferably Michael Brennan. Get him open on the corner, and just let him keep shooting because he's on fire.
Yeah, and you know, if you're the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies, the best thing you can do is stick your lockdown defender on him. And I know they're playing a zone right now, and that's kind of tough to do, but say shadow him. You got to be his shadow. You want to hold his pocket. That's how close you want to be to this guy. Because right now, the only reason the Eagles are in play is because Barrett has just under half their points. So if you can kind of get that out of the way, theoretically speaking, you should come out with a win.
They should put a guy, like you said, put a guy on Brennan, shut him down, and then you're able to stop the rest of them because they haven't done as much as him.
And you know, maybe you stop Barrett and then someone else steps up, and that's how a team plays. But theoretically, in your mind as a coach, when you look at a stat sheet like this, you got to say, man, there is one guy on this list. We got to get him out. We got to watch for him. Now, on the other side of things, if you're the Eagles or if you're the Payton squad, what are you trying to do to win this ball game?
You're gonna try to work in. They worked in earlier today. You saw it in the first half. They're working in pretty good, driving in, making layups. Keep working inside because it seems to be working. But also give Scalise the ability to shoot outside because he's been lit up yesterday. So give him a chance outside and work inside. That's what I got to say.
And I think that overall, this team, the Grizzlies, they play very good team basketball. There's not going to be one guy who you see leads them to victory. I mean, Scalise is going to shoot it well. They're all going to pretty much shoot it pretty well. We saw Pro shoot it well yesterday, and Trotter will go inside. But as a unit, they play together pretty well. So I think what you've got to do is you got to share the love. You got to move the ball on offense and get high-quality opportunities because anyone on the floor, I wouldn't be upset with them shooting an open look. So get that open look and let them fire it.
Right.
And that's what we're going to say is the halftime keys to victory from Brandon Giese and Patrick Harrion. And we are just seconds away from tipping the second half off. The Payton Preparatory Grizzlies will take the ball out of bounds to start the half. And it gets into Trotter. Trotter is the obvious point man for this team. And they seem to be running a motion set, screen-based offense. Trotter now to Pillsbury. Pro for 3, and he hits it.
So you keep the ball moving until you see a guy get open. That is going to be a huge key for the Grizzlies to win this game.
And a turnover there from the Eagles, and they come the other way. It is back tapped and stolen by the Eagles eventually, and they're going to call a walk. We just saw 3 turnovers in less than 30 seconds.
They're just seeming to rush the ball. They're rushing the movement. You saw a bad pass there. You saw travel. They're out of control.
Trotter now with it. He'll give it to the near side. Pro for 3 again, and he did catch some contact, but no call in the corner. Here comes Triplett. He gives it up. Bradley will go up, and that one will go. Bradley Cherry, Quickly up the floor to Logan Dillon. He'll float it, and that's going to be a charge. A good play on offense by Bradley Cherry, and a good play on defense by him as well.
It was a smart play. He saw the chance to take the charge, and he took it. It was good, smart basketball.
And that's a good thing to note, too. On one end of the floor, if you do something effective, it can spark you on the other end of the floor as well. So keep an eye out for that. Players who make good defensive plays, making a good offensive play after, or an offensive play into a defensive play, one or the other, that a lot of the time sparks a player. Cherry down the lane again, and that falls, and exactly what I'm talking about right there. 2 good offensive plays and a defensive play in a row. Bradley Cherry is doing it all right now.
They're also working inside, which is been very effective for him in this first half.
Pro down the lane, a wild shot put up. He almost got it to go. And the other way comes Barrett. Inside to out. Thought about an extra pass, but instead Cherry will take it on his own. They do get it to Barrett, and that's going to be off of Trotter's foot.
I think Triplett should have taken that shot. He was wide open.
There was a lot of opportunities on the perimeter there.
I say if you're open and you have an option to take the shot, take it.
Triplett will be the inbounder. He inbounds it to Cherry. They get it to Barrett. Inside to out. Barrett for three. No, just short. He rushed that one just a little bit. That one is rebounded and put back in by Logan McCann. A good job by him to get on the offensive boards and get that second chance bucket.
See, with those offensive rebounds, more chances, more options to take a shot, more options to score.
Trotter with it here near side by the Golden Eagle. He'll go the opposite way with it. A dribble drive for him. A floater is put up at some major contact, and they're going to call, I believe, McCann on that one. Actually, it's going to go against number 12, Wade Parmley, and that's going to be his second foul of the game. First one from Trotter is up and good, as both teams here have shot the ball from the free throw line pretty well.
That's fine. A good reason why the game is close. Good free throws, bring an extra point here and there, will make the game closer in the long run.
32-31 at the moment. If you're just joining us, there's 5.5 left in the third. I'm Brandon Giese alongside Patrick Harrion. And for three, that's Bradley Cherry, and he is feeling it right now, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be 7 for him just in this quarter, and we are just getting started.
They've seen him stop Brennan a little bit, but then now, like you said earlier, another guy has stepped up. It's all good team plays.
A dribble drive from Pro, they kick it out. Scalise for three, back rim. Bradley Cherry is taking over the point position with a hot start to the second half, and I would continue to get it into his hands if I were a part of this team. You gotta feed the hot hand, you know?
Feed him, give him the shot, keep giving him the ball, more shots. He's on fire right now, and he seems to be stopping at no cost.
That doesn't mean get over the top with it. Don't take a contested shot or anything like that. But if you've got it open,
take it.
Take it, yeah, fire it. There's the swing pass. Cherry for three. That was the one that we were talking about, a little bit over the top. But at that point, that's called a heat check.
Right, he was a little too far. He might have been out of his range a little bit, because he seemed to put a lot of power in it. That's why he just hit the backboard really hard and came back.
Either way, it was pretty well contested as well. Cherry's gonna go right down the middle of the lane, a good pass, an extra pass that wasn't needed, causes a travel from Michael Barrett.
Should have taken the shot right there instead of the extra pass, which contributed to the turnover. It could cost him.
It's been a close game here in the Jacobs High School gym the whole way so far, but Lakes Community Eagles has the lead here, 34-32, with just over 4 minutes left in this quarter. A turnover from the Grizzlies. Down the floor quickly is Parmley. He finds Triplett on a cut. A pass out of the back door is tipped out of bounds. I think they just got a little fancy with it.
He tried to do too much with it. An extra pass. He probably could have gone in and tried to shoot it there, but he decided to pass.
An inbound goes to Barrett, and he will try to set up the offense. They've had a pretty good second half at breaking this zone, wouldn't you say?
Well, yes, they're taking lots of outside shots, and they've also driven in, surprisingly, against the zone.
McCann for three. That was short the whole way. And right to left, here's Ronan Pruh. Trotter to Scalise. Dillon for three, contested, but it did not matter. Liam Dillon hit nothing but the bottom of the net, and a turnover on the inbound goes off of Triplett's leg, and all of a sudden, the Grizzlies have taken the momentum back.
Momentum's going on their side. They're taking good shots. You saw that three-pointer, even when it was contested, it still went in. It was a perfect shot. As you see here, the tempo of the game has kind of changed for the Grizzlies. They're now in control of the ball more. Another possession comes in here.
Another three. This one's Trotter, no good. Rebound controlled there. That's going to be number 14, Jeffrey Molostin. Cherry on the far side wing, he gives it up. Barrett back to Cherry.
See, they have kind of put a man on Brennan here.
There he is. Barrett for three, no good. Rebound tipped and controlled there by Logan McCann. He'll put up a right-handed hook, hits the front rim, but has the soft touch, and that one falls.
The offensive rebound there coming in play again, giving them the second chance to shoot again and score.
Back and forth we go, lead change after lead change in this game. Trotter now gives it to Scalise. He'll fire from the corner. Back rim again, no good. And I'd keep taking that if I'm him. I'm okay with as a coach and as a teammate with him taking that shot.
See, in a game like this, when it's going back and forth, you're trying to make sure you try to score on every possession.
Trotter makes that an easy one as he steals it and goes coast to coast for the bucket, and another lead change happens here in the third quarter.
You don't want to have one team take two possessions and score on both of them and you only scoring on one. You want to go flip-flop back and forth.
A cutter right down the middle. They missed him, but Logan McCann did not care about it because he hit that hook like it was no big deal. Ronan Prua now. He'll cross the half-court line and get it to Trotter. Charlie Pillsbury with it in his hands. We haven't seen a lot of him so far in the second half, so keep your eye on him. They get it back out. Liam Dillon for three again. Bang! Liam Dillon hits nothing but the bottom of the net again, and he has been the spark plug for the Grizzlies here in the second half.
He is a big momentum changer for this team, and they have just lit up this quarter, scoring a lot of points. Good shots, good defense. He's ignited them.
Liam Dillon has a solid 13 points for the Grizzlies. And on the other side of the ball, Logan McCann has had a great third quarter himself. That's the third consecutive possession they've gone to him, and he's delivered. Ronan Prua now.
It's important for the Eagles to answer back after the last possession by the Grizzlies. It's important for them to shut down kind of that momentum.
Scalise for three, short. 40-40 here in the Jacobs High School gym. We've worked all this way to get back to where we started, and it's been a good one, and I love it. It's a barn burner here in the start of this consolation bracket. Gunther will dribble with it. Gets it back to the top, but it's going to be taken by Trotter. He mishandles it. He's going to go right to the rack anyways, and unfortunately, he's going to get called on a foul. Trotter just missed the handle on that, or it would have been an easy two for the Grizzlies.
And that foul there, it looked like it was almost kind of an anger foul for missing that layup.
When I used to play, they called that a frustration foul. I don't know why. I guess it sounds better than anger, but that's exactly what it was. You're right, a frustration foul because he felt like he should have had an easy bucket, and that's not false. And one for Logan McCann. What a quarter in the third. He's got 10 alone, and he is willing this Eagles team and putting him on his back. And that's a big foul for Liam Dillon. 3 fouls after 3 quarters. You got to keep an eye on him. He's got to play defense without fouling. And you really don't want to lose him after the quarter that he had as well. Anderson with the board, and he gives it up. That's going to be Freddie Martin bringing the ball up. Ronan Prua gets it. He'll take a 18-foot jump shot that does not go. Charlie Pillsbury with the board, no good. Rebound control, there's just a measly 5 seconds left. They are going to fire. That'll be good if it goes. No good. Freddie Martin gave it a good opportunity from about half court. But nevertheless, it's 42-40 in favor of the Eagles. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. Oh, sorry, we actually have a replay. And that's going to be the Zach Trotter easy coast-to-coast layup after a nice steal. And he's just a couple inches of vert from dunking that ball, isn't he?
Oh, he sure is. I would have liked to see a dunk there if he was possible, but I'll take the layup any day.
I believe now we are going to send it to our Buffalo Wild Wings sponsor. Maybe?
Question mark?
Actually, we'll keep it here. All right. Patrick, we've seen an outstanding game from both teams so far. One of the key things that we saw in the third quarter was Logan McCann step up with a big 10 points just in that quarter. You can see in my stat sheet. I was running out of room to write twos because he was just lighting it up for them. And Bradley Cherry in the early going, they went to him for a couple of possessions. But then you look at it, and now And we are back here in the Jacobs High School gym. I'm Brandon Giese alongside Patrick Harrion, and we're going to have an interesting fourth quarter of basketball. As I was at the Lakes Community Eagles, they had a great quarter, but it was only fueled by two guys, Bradley Cherry and Logan McCann, the only guys who got on the score sheet for them. So keep an eye on them to see if they will get a little bit of a rest here to start the fourth and push towards the end.
They've kind of changed their game plan to working inside. The first half was outside shooting at the three-point shots everywhere. Now they're moving inside. They work drives and in short shots.
They tried to work it in, and they're not going to get it to Wade Parmley. That's going to be a turnover by the Eagles. And as I was saying, they are both off the floor, McCann and Cherry, as well as Barrett. So those guys are getting a rest right now, up 2, as the Grizzlies reset with practically their starting lineup. Martin and Anderson would be the only subs off the bench for the Grizzlies so far in this quarter. Martin now, a dribble drive past Triplett. He loses the ball. They're going to regain the possession. It's Pruitt. He'll give it up to Dillon. Dillon with a floater, no good. Rebound by Pillsbury. He's going to get hacked.
You saw him slap on his hand. I personally thought it was a clean block, but as I look at it now, he slapped him along the hand. That's where the foul came from when he was mid-shot.
And Payton has an opportunity to tie the game. Charlie Pillsbury, his first one rattles out, and it's been a bit of a rough one for Charlie Pillsbury so far. Only 2 points for him, but as we know, he can get back into it at any time. And as I say that, the whole brigade gets up from the bench. Barrett, Bradley Cherry, and also Logan McCann will check right back in for the Eagles. Gunther, a dribble drive baseline, a good pass to Triplett. He'll take it in with a left-handed or a right-handed scoop, and he will score. Triplett.
They almost forced a turnover on that drive. They could have scored again right there.
Dillon for 3 again. They're going to call a foul, I believe, on number 12, which is Wade Parmley. That means Dillon will go to the line for 3 free throws. You know, the biggest threat to Liam Dillon is his 6'6" height and his ability to shoot.
Those two things are just two devastating qualities. He can overpower you inside, and he can also take shots on the outside. He's a threat right there.
Dillon did miss the first one, but the second one is up, and that one will fall for him. Here come the subs for the Community Eagles, and all of the starters are back in the game. Dillon puts this one up as well, no good. Liam Dillon, a 1 for 3 trip at the line.
That was a big 3 big free throw shots right there. They could have taken the lead or tied it.
They work at the Triplet. There's Bradley Cherry now. They reset.
So they're trying to pass it around, trying to break the zone to get a man open on the three-point line, preferably Brennett. By the way he's been shooting today.
Triplett gets it to Barrett. Inside, Logan McCann, and one for Logan McCann. Right off the bench and back into the scoring column for Logan McCann. And he has an opportunity to widen the lead for the Eagles.
Fouls will kill you in this game, and it seems like the Grizzlies are having a lot of them in this half. They have 5 compared to 3.
McCann puts that one up and it hits nothing but the bottom of the net. Logan McCann now at 19 for the Eagles. Dylan has to take a seat as he was in some foul trouble. 4 fouls for him, and they're really going to need him down the stretch. So a smart decision by the coach to take him out. That's Coach Quinn Peterson. Freddie Martin back into the game for him. Zach Anderson also came in. Ronan Pro for 3, no good. Rebound controlled there by Bradley Cherry, and they're going to come the other way. Michael Barrett will initiate. As they cross the boundary, they give it to Cherry. Oh, tried to spin move and almost lost it. They're gonna eventually call a full timeout. That's the Eagles' full timeout. And for this timeout, I'm not sure. We're gonna do Tom the Plumber. I was hoping for it, I was begging for it. This timeout sponsored by Tom the Plumber Incorporated. Tom is your local family-owned plumbing contractor, honest and affordable. Visit Tom the Plumber at TomThePlumberInc.com. He's got a ton of good information on there about, you know, honest and affordable plumbing. So
he is a good man.
Great
he will
man.
get the job done.
Outstanding morals. We are just under 5 minutes here in the 4th quarter of play. And what have you seen so far, and what do you think each team has to do to really seal this bad boy up?
Payton needs to try to work inside. They're taking a lot of threes, but they seem to be missing those threes. So trying to change it inside, work inside. Inside shots are easier to make than outside shots. And for the Eagles, just continue what you're doing. It's working well. The three-pointers are working, and driving inside is just paying off.
I think that if they can continue to work the ball into Logan McCann, they're going to have some wild success. I mean, he's got 19 points, and in the second half alone, that's 13. So just in this half, he's had some very good success inside. Let's see who they go to here on the inbound. That's Cherry. They give it up to Triplett on the far side. Triplett dribbles by him, but can't get to the lane in the zone. They upped the pressure definitely here coming out of the timeout, though, the Grizzlies did.
They're really starting to put 2 guys, double team Brennett there. And it's a good thing because he's another one of the Eagles' high-scoring players.
Triplett now gives it up. That's going to be Bradley Cherry. Near side Barrett. A dribble drive, but he didn't go to the rim. Oh, they had McCann inside, but the pass was tipped, and that's going to be last touched by McCann. Grizzlies ball.
He also had an open shot at the three-point line. There was it would have been an uncontested shot. I personally think he should have taken it.
Inbound goes to Pillsbury. And right back to Pro. He'll bring it up for the Grizzlies. Trotter with it. Pro tried to work it inside, but that was much too tight of a window, and here come the Eagles.
They tried to do too much with that pass. They threw it into traffic right there.
3 minutes and 30 seconds remain here in the 4th quarter of play. They're going to call a foul on Freddie Martin. That's not going to put them in the bonus, and they still do have a foul to give, I believe. Actually, no, the next foul will put the Eagles into the bonus. So keep an eye on that. Free throw shooting could become very apparent here down the stretch in just a 5-point game. And statistically, this tournament, we have seen the Eagles shoot it rather poorly from the line. So if they can convert there, that could also help them seal up a victory here. An easy layup there for Michael Barrett. That's his first points of the second half, as we thought he was going to have an explosive day. Is when he jumped out to that 12-point first half. He gets on the board here to make it 14 in the second half.
You see they continue to work inside, and it's still paying off for them.
Trotter will size up a three, no good. Rebound control by Pillsbury, and Pro will fire that one, and Pro will hit that one. Ronan Pro answers with a three-pointer for the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies. We have a full timeout, and we're going to do a checkup. This timeout is sponsored by Checkup, the Snapchat of basketball. Find and set up nearby basketball anytime, anywhere. Download the app in the Apple App Store today. 2:52 remains here in the fourth quarter. We got a good look into the Lakes Community Eagles bench, but right now I want to hear what you would say to your boys if you're the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies coach, Quinn Peterson.
Work inside, the outside shot, and actually work both in and out. Get the ball to Prue. He looks like he's getting the hang of shooting along the three-point line after that one shot. It was a perfect shot he made. Also, work inside a little bit too. Don't forget about the inside shot. The inside shot, as I've said earlier, is easier to make than the outside shot. And keep working the defense on Brennan. You're shutting him down, but also do not forget about McCann.
Overall, I think we're geared up for a great final. Just under 3 minutes of play. It's been a fun one so far. If you're just now tuning in here in the early morning going of the Hinkle Holiday Classic, I'm Brandon Giese alongside Patrick Harrion, and this one has been a barn burner the whole way. The third quarter was rather interesting, back and forth, about 4 or 5 lead changes just alone in that quarter, and now we're set here in the fourth with a small lead for the Lakes Community Eagles after a big three from the Grizzlies. The inbound is in, and it is almost stolen. Oh, a good defensive play there by the Grizzlies. They almost got away with a steal, but luckily for the Eagles, it was tapped out of bounds.
There was almost a travel there in that
I thought
crazy
so
possession.
too. I thought he might have dragged it there too. I couldn't tell, but even though it is close to our setup here, I just didn't know if he did or not. Logan McCann will put that one up and in for the Eagles.
See him again attacking the paint there with the shot. The inside shot is still paying off for him.
That's going to be a foul, and the Eagles still have 2 fouls to give until they are in the bonus, or until they would put the Grizzlies into the bonus, so that foul's not going to hurt them in any way. Back into the game is Liam Dillon. We saw him light it up from 3, but the thing about Dillon is he does have 4 fouls. The next one will cost him his game. Dribble drive from Trotter. He's going to get called for a walk, and that's a rough call. They really needed a bucket on that possession. 2 substitutes will check in.
They had to answer back on that possession. Now you're giving back the ball to the Red Hot Eagles here. It could cost them.
A 6-point deficit. They really need a turnover and or a defensive stand, and they almost get that turnover they need. That's going to be a timeout called by the Eagles, a good timeout from Coach Chris Snyder, as they were being trapped in the corner. 51-45, just over 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, and this timeout is going to be sponsored by Rosen Hyundai of Algonquin. Looking for a brand new Hyundai or a certified pre-owned? Save time, shop online at rosenhyundai.com.
You know, I might actually need to get a new car.
Really?
You know, I was driving here today, and my car is making all these weird noises. You know, maybe I'll stop by on the way
Rosen
home.
Hyundai. Well, if you didn't know, you can shop online at Rosen Hyundai, so you don't even have to leave this building to look.
Wow.
We're going to take a look at a Windy City Bulls replay. Right here, it's going to be a walk from Trotter. And actually, I didn't really, from that angle and at that speed, I didn't see a walk. Did you?
I saw more contact there than
more of a
anything.
foul. Interesting. Nevertheless, the Community Eagles will inbound, and the trap is on Barrett, and he's got an outlet right behind him, but he's going to go all the way across the boundary line. you can tell a hand check foul is called against Freddie Martin, but you can tell that the Grizzlies are pressing here to try and get a turnover. That will put the Eagles in the bonus, and this is exactly where we start talking about the biggest key, in my opinion, for winning a high school basketball game: free throws.
Free throws are important for any part of basketball, and if they can continue to work on these free throws and score untested points here and capitalize on mistakes that the Grizzlies are making, it'll be very important.
1-and-1, so the first one misses, and that's all they get. Here comes Ronan Pruitt now with 1 minute and 47 seconds left. They kind of need to get a good possession, and he dribbles it off and out of bounds and out of the game. Come the 2 subs because they are in foul trouble, the starters for the Grizzlies. That's a costly, costly turnover for the Payton Preparatory Grizzlies.
They really need to answer back on that drive here. They just turned it right back.
That makes it very, very difficult for these guys to overcome this deficit. I've seen it before, but it does make it tougher. Freddie Martin was playing some pretty good defense. They're going to call a hand check on him again, and Triplett will go to the line with an opportunity for the 1-and-1 once again. So we will see what this time at the line entails for him.
Seems like the Grizzlies are playing with frustration here. They're down 6 points. They're angry, especially over the costly turnovers they've made in this quarter. And they seem to be just taking their anger out on the other team.
Triplett now at the line once again with an opportunity. It's a 1-and-1. The first one is up, and that one will fall this time around. It's going to make it a 6-point lead, or 7, excuse me.
Now if he makes this free throw, it'll be very hard to come back.
That one is up, and it is good, and that does make it a lot tougher for this squad to come back at an 8-point deficit. Trotter now will dribble up right to left. He will give that ball up to Pro right down the lane. He'll kick it out. Trotter for 3, a couple steps beyond the arc. He does not hit, and a rebound by Bradley Cherry. A bucket here could really just put the nail in the coffin.
Coming back from 10 points is just too hard.
With a minute, yeah, that's tough. Almost turned it over. No foul called yet. They're going to give it up inside. That's Bradley Cherry. He's going to put that one up and in.
There might have been a little bit of a walk there when they were contesting with the ball. He kind of moved his feet a little bit. I don't think the refs caught it as much, or they're just focusing on the ball.
Liam Dillon for 3, no good. And the wheels have spun off of this one for the Grizzlies, but either way, they did play a good contest here today, and it's not over yet.
See, the Lakes are just trying to drain out as much time as possible.
That's the smart play. Triplett will go down the lane, but kick it right back out to McCann. Cherry here, and it does not appear that the Grizzlies are going to foul. That's going to put the kissing touches and finishes on this one. The Lakes Community Eagles will get their first win of the tournament so far. You saw Logan McCann finish with 21 points, and that was really a big difference. Michael Barrett with 14, and you also saw Bradley Cherry with a very important 9 points for the Eagles. That's going to do it here in the Jacobs High School gym. We're going to throw it to a Windy City Bulls replay, take a look at a couple of our highlights, and then re-gear. So there we go, here we go. So here's the Bradley Cherry reverse layup that really put the icing on the cake there, so to speak. And that's all that we've got for you here. For Patrick Harrian, I'm Brandon Giese. As you can see on the clock there, we've got just about 20 minutes until we're back here bringing you another live action basketball game on YouTube. We're going to send it to our sponsors, and we'll be back.